Train, this is your moment. You are a warrior. Just gonna put this a bit softer. Right, where to even start this video? Let's start with the introduction. Alright, my name is Isak Smit. This is my journey until I'm 50. I think it's still too loud, eh? Let's put it down just a little bit now. We'll put it up a little bit louder just now. But while I speak, let's keep it nice and low. So, this journey until I'm 50, this is about physical training, mental training, and spiritual training. Some of the videos prior to this, you've seen me work out real hard. I had a few injuries with this right arm. I've lost a lot of muscle mass in my arms and the rest of my body. Does it upset me? A little bit, yes, because I'm used to a different physique, I'm used to a different feeling. But I'm adapting. So these videos that I'm making, they're not for entertainment, they're more like educational maybe, I don't know if you can call it that. But I want to look back in 8 years from now. I'm turning 42 this year, this month, 24th of March. And basically, I want to look back one day and see how I started this journey. I want to look back one day when I'm 50 and see if I committed to this journey, because I believe that I'm called to this journey. I don't know the full purpose of this yet, but I am developing my skill sets in physical training just because, but I'm also developing new ways of how I think of what I do. I'm training my mind to be strong, to not collapse. And then I have a lot of spiritual training that I'm also doing here. My spiritual take on this entire thing has taken over a lot in these videos. I'll have to explain that, because every time that I speak the word of God, it'll be taking short references and stuff out of the Bible. I don't really like doing that a lot, because for me it's a case of, do I first understand what was written within the context, and then I'll apply it to my life how God wants me to see it. But you will notice, if you have watched my videos, that a lot of the stuff that I've said before. And what's going to end up happening is that these are going to become like my greatest hits. It's the same thing said over, and I've perfected and mastered that one section of what I always talk about. I don't want that. I want to grow. I want to learn. So the idea is that I've been preparing myself in here physically. So as you can see, I still have my space over here. We are going to get back into that physique mindset at some point again. The issue that I have now is my shoulder. The tendon seems to be recovering really well. Like as you can see here, I've gotten back a lot of my mobility. But like I always say, respect your injuries. When you do recovery, take it serious. Do not train when you're doing recovery. When you're doing recovery, it's not training, it's recovery. So let me show you what I've done. So I woke up this morning. I've got to start, time's going to fly quick because I still want to train again. But I'm going to have to start by explaining some things. Today's Monday. Last week I made a video on Monday. Thursday came, I did not make a video. I should have made a video. I did not. And I thought to myself, I'll do it on Friday. I didn't make one on Friday. I thought to myself, maybe we'll try Saturday. I have to make a video on Saturday. It must happen. I must make a video on Saturday. Saturday came, I didn't make a video either. Sunday came, and I realized I'm not going to make a video yesterday either. But to come back to all of this. So last week Monday, not this Monday, I went up to the mountains. I think I might have even said that in my video. And then I went to see what time the sun comes up and all of that. So Tuesday I woke up at like 4:30 again. It was very early. Wednesday I went up with the local pastor here, who actually said he wants to come up with me. I said, hey, that's great. I'll actually wanted him to come up with me so that I can explain to him who I am and what I do, who's Isaac Smith, what is my life about, and where do I fit in this community, and so all sorts of stuff. And we just prayed in general. I prayed, he prayed, I prayed, finished, and we chatted. But it was nice to have someone else up there. What is weird is when you pray and you have someone else in your space, because all of a sudden you feel like you need to kind of defend your prayer, or you need to pray in a certain way, because normally we pray like this, because at least that's how I felt like when I was praying. I was like, normally I don't pray just like this, normally it's just me and God. So it's kind of weird having someone right here in my space when I'm praying, but we gotta overcome those barriers. I'm still clean, I haven't vaped anything, I'm still doing very well. I'm literally doing the best that I can to pursue God. I want to be a man after God's own heart, like David was. And a lot of my studies that I'm doing at the moment, I call it studies. I actually shouldn't call it studies yet, because the amount of time that I put into it doesn't feel like it qualifies for a study. A study is when you sit down and you study it, doctrine, you work through the stuff. Currently, I'm not there yet. But I've been asking God to help me prepare these sessions, because these are also still part of my raw beginnings. These videos that I'm making now, this is me still finding middle ground. I don't know what I'm doing. I'm just doing it. So one day, maybe I'll have a proper structure in place. Maybe one day I'll have a proper way of how I can educate and train myself and prepare myself to come stand here and be ready to say something that I have prepared for, like today. But I'll tell you what, I don't know how it's going to go, but it's based on Psalm 13, so it's going to tie back into last week and why these videos weren't made, and everything that goes on with work and myself and my life, physically, spiritually, mentally, all of it. So let me just quickly show you. So this is new. I put a chair in here. Do you see that? My Bible. So I'm going to use this space because I still got enough space here to train. And then I've got a whiteboard for my wife. Where is it? There's my whiteboard. And on there, I came in this morning and I just scribbled on there whatever works for me. I'm not really the study type of guy, but if you got to do something for the Lord, you got to take it serious. So where do I start? So first of all, I'm going to just warm up here, because once I'm done here, I'm going to go do 3 uphills and maybe some rope skips, just to get this body loose. I want to do some bicep curls and all of that, but I've got to focus on what I came in here this morning to prepare myself. 4:30 I woke up and I came to sit in here. Normally I went to sit in my living room, and it's too comfortable there. I need to be away from everyone and everything. And I realized how important the sessions is that I spend in here. So Thursday after Wednesday, early morning. Thursday I had another early morning, and then Friday came and I said to myself, you know what? I'm really tired. I'm gonna rest. I'm gonna rest this Friday morning. Let me tell you something. I got to work Friday morning, and man, was the enemy ready for me. First things happening, my wife says, remember they've got National Prayer Day on Friday at school. My son's gonna be there, the boys. The girl's gonna be somewhere else, and the boys are gonna be there, and there's gonna be fathers and everyone of men is going to be there. I'm like, cool, okay, so I'll go there. So just before 8 I went, and then what happened is my boss told me, listen, you got to be at 8:30 though, at least be back, because this guy wants to come at work to look at some stuff. He never rocked up, and I came back at like 20 to 9, but he was never there. Then just before I left, someone sent me an image on WhatsApp saying, listen Isaac, you got to come fix this Microsoft login issue. I'm like, yeah, that's not my problem, because you got to go ask those guys to go do it. And then he came back to me and said, no, but this one said it's now your responsibility. So I went to my boss and said, is this our responsibility? He's like, no, it's not ours. So I was at the point where I was just ready to let go and let my frustration be known. I was ready to damage my testimony. I was ready to just let them hear it from me. And you know what? The enemy would have celebrated that part. So after the prayer session, the core message was basically that we need to find our rest within Jesus. And I came back and I felt really relieved internally. You know, sometimes our situations don't change for us to change. Sometimes God needs to change our heart first. And that's what He needed to do with me. Because He realized where I was heading towards, and He said, no, you're gonna mess this up. He pulled me out, took me to a prayer meeting. I mean, there's a reason I didn't wake up on Friday morning. If I did, I probably would have responded differently. But as a man, as a human being, for all of us, this flesh, it is full of nonsense. It is craving everything that the spirit in me wants. So in the sense of like that, what my spirit wants to do, my flesh doesn't want that. You want to come train today, Isaac? No, you don't need to come train. Before I came into training here, I felt super tired. Ridiculous. So I grabbed a teaspoon of honey and I ate that. But for what it's worth, allow me to do this session the way I just prepared it this morning. And I want to share basically my entire journey of last week. And I want to explain Psalm 13 because I lived in Psalm 13 in that sense. Because everything that happened in there was exactly how I was feeling, and I felt like I could apply it to my own life. So first of all, I understood how David wrote that psalm. I broke it up in sections. I learned it in the original text in Hebrew. I compared words. What does it mean? What does it not mean? And that's really the key difference is when you, because Saturday, I'll skip a few phases and come back to some stuff. But Saturday, that music I'm listening to is called Journey Till I'm 50. That's the album's name. The artist's name is called Hirosaki. So if you want to listen to the music that I'm listening to, you just go search on any music platform, YouTube, Spotify, Apple Music, I don't know, some other platforms out there as well. It's called Journey Until I'm 50. You'll find the album. It's got like a little helmet on there. So Saturday, well, even earlier the week, I said to my wife, it's not that I'm looking for intercourse. I just said, I just feel alone. Just be present with me. Just be with me. Just touch me or just be close to me. I felt like I needed to feel that I'm not alone, if that makes sense. And she's busy as well. And she forgets about it as well. And she just carries on. And for some reason, my flesh is really starting to hardening himself. And it's like, no, she's not giving me any attention. She doesn't want to get close to me. Not that it's like that. And then Saturday came, I went with her to the golf course for the school thing. And then the people's like, it's really quiet today. And she's like, yeah, he's really tired because I'll tell you what. So you got to remember now, the Monday morning, Tuesday morning, Wednesday morning, Thursday morning, twice last week up to the mountains, very early mornings. Friday came, slept a bit late. And then I had this really difficult day at work. I felt like just hammering people with it. God intervened, pulled me back, helped me, protected me in the sense of not damaging my testimony in front of Jesus. And then Saturday morning at 3 a.m. I wake up from a nightmare. My wife is now cheating on me in this dream. And it's just like, I'm not getting any decent sleep, so I'm grumpy. And after 3 a.m. I thought to myself, let me go try and sleep again. No. I just couldn't shut down. I just couldn't sleep after that terrible dream. And then I just started being busy. I put in the stable in here. I got this whiteboard in here, and I just started like doing things inside the house, outside the house, helping my wife clean inside and watching cricket as well. But I took like a half an hour nap maybe. I tried because my kids were making like little dinosaurs. They're noisy and they just don't give me any rest. So I'm a bit grumpy, you know. And my wife's like, we're gonna go to Grandpa, Grandma. You want to sleep a bit more? You want to come with? And I was just like kind of rude in a sense. And I said, well, it's not just the sleeping that's the issue here. It's other things as well. That was my hint of saying, hey, something else is wrong here. You gotta now check out here. And we went to, I just got up then. I wasn't going to sleep more after I said that to my wife. And then I went with. And she looked for the right opportunity to come sit down by me and talk with me and said, well, what's bothering you? And I explained to her. prior this week, I've told you, just be close to me. I felt like I needed someone, and you've not been there. And I said to her, I'm not blaming you, because I wasn't blaming her. She understood, and she realized, and we took that issue to Jesus. And we just let Him help us sort this out. So, in that sense, just like that, the two of us got restored. You see, I don't want to harden myself towards my heart towards my wife. I love my wife. I'll do anything for her, and she'll do the same for me. But your flesh gets in the way. You got to realize when it's your flesh, because then you got to address the things of the flesh and let Jesus sort it out for you. So take your problems to Him. Because Sunday came and I woke up and I said, you know what? Because of the mountain stuff and everything, I said, we haven't gotten to the time we normally spend once a week together with God. So Sunday morning came and I was like, it's going to be now. She's like, yes, okay. So I said to Psalm 13, let's carry on there. Because I've done 1 to 12. And I said, well, let's just go to 13. It's only six verses. Great. So we thought like, we'll read through those 6 verses and it's going to be quick. Hour and a bit later. And we're sitting there like, we thought this was going to be a quick session. Because it's only 6 verses. So, I do need to read some of it, but I don't want to know. I think you should go read it for yourself. Let me give you one here quickly. How long, O Lord, will you forget me forever? How long will you hide your face from me? So David is here, he's expressing himself. And that's being honest. He's basically saying to God, how long, Lord? Have you forgotten me? So you are allowed to express yourself in honesty in front of God. That's not called sin. I'm going to put the music a bit louder now. And now we're going to maybe do some shadow boxing as I explain some of these things now. So I'm just going to loosen up. And if you see my eyes going there, it's going to be on my board, eh? Okay, so how long, Lord? For Psalm 13. So let me first give you what I had there. It was the hard week that I had last week. And it is me who I felt like God basically hang on to that for Psalm 13. Because I would have done it on Wednesday. And then for some reason I just waited until Sunday. Now I know why. You see, when we are faced with trials of many kinds, don't try and change the circumstances. You see, even after everything has been restored in here, my vision has been cleared again, and I find internally peace again. But my circumstances that was bothering me, they're still there. That hasn't gone away. You see, when Jesus was in Gethsemane, in the mountains, He said to His disciples, stay awake with me and pray with me. You see, He also had that desire in His flesh to tell His friends, stay awake with me. It's kind of the same feeling I had when I said to my wife, just be there, just be close to me, touch me, just show that you're here. But at the end I fell asleep because it wasn't for them, it was for Jesus. And he at some point said, well, the way that he prayed is that the persecution was so hard that the feeling of what he was going to go through was so much. He said, if it's possible, can this cup be taken away? See, that's not part of my studies, that's just me ranting now. But he's like, can this cup be taken away from me? But not my will, Father, yours be done. And that's how we need to look at these situations. We always need to ask God that His will still take place. And in this entire chapter 13 of the Psalms, David is basically, all of his Psalms is like that. You can actually structure it. So, number 1, because verses 1 to 6 is, how long, O Lord? That's basically what he's asking. And he's asking that with honesty. Then number 2 is his spirit is tired. Let me read you a verse here. Check this out. So David's spirit is really tired. And he says, how long must I wrestle with my thoughts, and every day have sorrow in my heart? How long will my enemy triumph over me? So he's wrestling in his thoughts.
He's overthinking, he's overanalyzing, he's doing all of that. So how long, oh Lord? A moment where you feel forgotten. You see, when I was at work, I felt like a little bit of, I was forgotten in the sense of like, I'm feeling this pressure from work. There's an emotional exhaustion within me. It is feeling alone internally. That part is true, because I felt all of those three things. And I just felt physically, spiritually, mentally exhausted. And I was like, can someone tell me it's okay what I'm doing? Can someone just explain to me if this is going to be the load I'm supposed to be carrying all the time? You see, Jesus carried that load, but yet he still said, not my will be done, Father, but yours. The only reason why I'm feeling this load now is because I'm living where I'm walking the road I'm supposed to be walking. I was always supposed to carry that load. You see, after he's restored me internally, emotionally, and all of that, that load is still there. I'm still carrying it right now. Yet, it's light because I gave it to Jesus. Because he showed me how and what I have to do. So, if you ask honest questions directed at God, just grab these 5 kgs. That's not called unbelief. So you can ask your questions to God. And you should. We got to do these ones as well. When I started these videos, I did like 200 of these every session. Every Monday, every Thursday, 200 of these. That was my minimum. Sometimes I'd go 250, then 300. My most I've done of these bicycles was 400. And it's a 5 kilogram. But it made a big difference. So, how to pray when your soul is tired. Spiritual training. Remember when I said 1 Timothy 4 verse 7? Train yourself for godliness. Gymnasium. I started my whole first videos on that verse. And there was a lot on the physical side of things as well. But I've now come to understand the spiritual side of that training and what it implies. Because the physical training is just of some importance. It's carrying like a dumbbell to my spirit. I got to use the same mindset. I came in here training twice a week last year. Every single week I did it. If it wasn't in here, it was outside. But Monday, Thursdays, I never skipped a day in the full year. That's my commitment. This year I said I'm going to do 50 leg raises every single day. I've not skipped a single day from the 25th of December. So we're going to do 50 leg raises in here just now again as well. And after posting a video the other day, I saw that I could only do 10 leg raises, 10 leg raises, 10 leg raises times 5. Now I can do 50 straight. But I've got less muscle. It's okay. So his soul is tired, like I was reading that one to you just now. How long must I wrestle with my own thoughts and every day have sorrow in my heart? You see, he was experiencing a real depression inside because the burden was on David alone. When God feels silent, we start trying to solve everything ourselves, and our soul becomes tired. Your soul becomes tired. So I'm carrying responsibility, emotional heaviness, nothing. What did I write there? Needing closeness and comfort. That's what I realized in the study with David as well, because that's what David is basically explaining in that verse 2. Is the soul is tired and he's wrestling with his thoughts and he's overthinking everything. And then he goes to number 3 and he says, look on me and answer. He's asking God, look on me and answer. It's basically, that's a prayer. He's basically saying, look on me and answer it. That's a prayer. He's saying, give light to my eyes. So sometimes we need to stop for a second, just be quiet, just think about everything that's around you and stop over analyzing. You see, I've got a new product that I'm working with and I'm always analyzing the new one versus the old one. I like the old one, I don't like the new one, based only, not on the people, but based on how it's being handled, the way that it's being done. It's very secretive. compared to the other one. There's a lot of backslidden movement happening there, and I can see it. And that's the reason why I don't approve of it. But that's why I'm also over-analyzing things, where I thought like, well, it's like, I said there's like two bridges. I just want to bring the two bridges together so that we can all be on the same page. I have one desire. I want this company to just be able to run at full production. That's my concern. So the questions that I always asked was not to belittle any party, but it is to strengthening them through trials and tribulations that I've experienced in 5.5 years of experience. I have some good questions that I asked, but it got ignored. It just got flat out ignored. I have even asked my questions to, well, I've notified him. I gave him my opinion. And I said to him that I've never seen my company be as unprepared as this ever in the 5.5 years that I've been here. I think you, my boss man, not my boss, but the boss of the whole company, he needs to maybe just go check how things are going. Tomorrow we're getting our first fruit, we're going to pack. And we're not ready, to be honest, because they're going to find issues, and you know what they're going to do with the new product? They're going to fix them as we go through. But this is the year that they have predicted the most fruit that we've had before. So there's too many stuff that's changed, too little time for people to get on board with it. And I've not been involved with anything. They just completely left me out, because you know what? I used to wear a hat from the old system. I think they took a lot of offense in that. I don't know why they shouldn't do that, because I was never belittling them. But anyway, let's carry on. So, yes, that was so my cry was also when I was basically seeing that I'm at the end of myself. My cry for help came when I went to that National Prayer Day, and that's where I found rest within myself again. You see the eyes thing that I was saying? Let me read this to you again. Give light to my eyes. That's what David said. Give light to my eyes. Because sometimes when we walk through this life, it feels like we have like this fog over us. And sometimes, I even say this myself at work. That's a pride thing. I said even to the boss, I said, the people are under an illusion, or they are delusional. I think it was one of those two. I said, because the way that they're doing things is very, very unprofessional. Nothing is done with proper procedure. And I said, I gave him my opinion. I said, I've never seen this place be as unprepared. So I must be careful how I say things sometimes, because my approach is not to create chaos. My approach is not to create confusion. My approach is always the peaceful one, but also to look at the situation from every single angle, so that the best decision can be made, not just for myself, I'm last on the list, but for everyone else that works with me. Because at the end of the day, I stand alone, do 6-7 months of support for this company when there's any issues with IT related stuff, and it's the production system as well. It's everything. They call me at night. So I'm the one losing sleep. And I can see lack of sleep is coming. But I'm preparing myself. This session I had last week, that's preparation. This is me in the forge. This is me being grinded, being hammered by God, showing me, teaching me. If He's allowed to make me the way He wants, then so be it. He chose the furnace, not me. All I need to do is just allow Him to mold me into what He's designed to be. And for that, I need to train myself physically in here for godliness. But when I say train myself physically in here for godliness, which has little importance, what I'm saying is I need to train myself physically in here for the spiritual side of what I am to be one day in eternity in His kingdom. So, if we go to number 4, it says, protect me so I don't fall. Listen to what David was basically saying to God here. Now you got to remember, if you believe in Jesus, we'll meet David one day. That's right, we're going to meet David one day. We're going to live with David in eternity. I'm excited for that. He says, my enemy will say, I have overcome him. So if I release myself on that Friday, the enemy, I'm not calling names out here, the enemy, the one that we cannot see, would have found victory. They would have been happy to see me fall like that, because they would have achieved their goal. They would have gotten what they wanted. So don't always, danger is not always the problem. It's how we respond when we are tired, when we are exhausted, we are depleted emotionally, spiritually, mentally. So when danger comes, when I say danger, I don't necessarily mean physical danger. I'm just saying danger in the general sense of the word danger from anything. Is how do you respond to it when you are tired? Danger is not always going to leave your side. Danger is not going to be always taken out of the equation. Sometimes we walk through danger. And how do we address it? Because if you are tired, you will sometimes allow your flesh to take control of what you say. And that's what you've got to be really careful for. But David then responded in verse 5, he says, but. So after he's made everything known, he says, how long, O Lord? My spirit is tired, help me, protect me so I don't fall, and my enemies don't boast over me. And then he says, after all of that, he says, but I will still trust. Listen to this, it's amazing. But I trust in your unfailing love. That word doesn't even begin to describe it. You need to go check it out in Hebrew. Unfailing love. Do you get it? Let me try and explain this to the best of my ability. He says, but I trust, me David, I trust in your God unfailing love. You see, his love always shows up. The Hebrew word guess, C-H-E-S-E-D, chesed. I don't know how to pronounce it. Chesed. It's God's covenant love. It's his love that does not depend on how strong I feel or my feelings alone. It's a love that is loyal, it stays, it always shows up, and it does not walk away. We don't have unfailing love. We can love someone today and divorce them tomorrow. We can love someone today and don't know them tomorrow. I used to love that woman. I used to love that man. But what changed? Because now you're saying you don't love him or her anymore? That's failing love. That's not the love God has for us. You see, we get to experience a part of love, but with imperfection. We don't have unfailing love. We can pursue it, but one day we will understand perfect love, because perfect love drives out all fear. So love cannot be made perfect in anyone who is afraid, because the Bible says fear has to do with punishment. When you really start digging into that verse, there's no fear in love. God's basically saying, how are you still afraid if you love me? You see, if you love God, then you've got an eternal perspective for where you're going to end up one day. So what does it matter how you're going to leave this planet? How does it matter how your life's going to end here one day? Nothing matters, because whatever I put you through, I've put you through that for my name's sake. He's like, I need you to do this. He doesn't need me. God doesn't need anyone else. Honestly. But He's made us for you. So guide my soul to the one I wish to know, Lord. And that's you, Father. I want to know the Father with everything that I have while I breathe here. Because one day I'll be with Him forever. But I want to be here now. I want to live and grind to know Jesus Christ with all of my heart, all of my mind, all of my soul. And that's going to require 8 years of training myself in here physically, spiritually, mentally, to get to the point where He needs me to be. And I'm going to document everything. Listen, if you came here for a nice session today, remember what I always say, if I'm talking too much, you're supposed to have your weights by you. You're supposed to have your weights and pick up a little bit of your weights. So I'm going to do a little bit of these ones quickly. And then I'm going to say, David ends with, he says, I will sing. He will praise. He ends in peace. That's important for all of us to know. Let me quickly read it to you. I will sing to the Lord, for He's been good to me. You see, on my Sunday ended, internally everything has been restored. My eyes, the fog has been cleared again, and I found my purpose again, in the sense of like just finding that inner peace again. I found peace. I found peace again. When I say God has been good to me, it's because He's restored that peace I had, that I was missing again. Because I thought everything was on my shoulders. I thought I was the one that had to fix everything. I thought I'm the one that's going to make sure that my company doesn't fall under. But at the end of the day, I've done what I could do. Can I do more? I don't know. I don't think so. So I'm going to leave it in His hands. He knows. He sees. He knows what I need. All I need is to have a mouth that can still glorify His name. All I need is a body that does not drag me down when I want to find Jesus with everything that I have. I already have Jesus, but I want to get closer to Him. If you get closer to God, He'll get closer to you. That's what it says in James. So, I'll sing. He chose worship, obedience before the situation changed. Listen to what David's saying. Before the situation changed, he chose to sing and praise the Lord. And if the situation changed, he would have done the same. But even when he chose to sing and praise the Lord for the Lord, afterwards, the situation didn't change. My situation hasn't changed. It's still the same. But I found peace now. Because that's what the word brings. It sets you free from the chains of the sin, of this lustful body that keeps me back. And unfortunately, this fight is permanent. This fight that I have now with this flesh will be until the day I die. I will never get to the point where I can say, look at me, I've made it to the top. You can never say that. That's the most dangerous place that you can be at. Don't ever say that, because if you get to the point where you can say, spiritually, you're untouchable, you've missed all of it. You have completely missed it if you feel that you're okay where you're at. If that's you out there, I want to warn you, with my own life as an experience, don't ever go down that rabbit hole. Don't say to yourself, well, I'm okay where I am. What I have now is just enough. I don't need more than that. Trust me. Until the day I die physically, I can never know all of it. Even if I study this word day and night, non-stop, without even having to rest, I can still never fully grasp the full depth of the Word of God. Heaven and earth will pass away, but His words will remain in all eternity. That's what His word is. It's an eternity. So, praise comes after surrender, not after solutions. So, surrender first, and then you look at solutions. My solutions is in the Word. My solutions is standing up 4 o'clock and 4:30, coming in here, prepping out that time, and I love it. I enjoy it. I really enjoy spending that time with God. So this, if it was boring for you, it's okay. But you know what? This is me training physically for godliness. This is me training my spirit in here to be the best man I can be for Him, so that I can live the best man I can be out here as well for my kids and my wife. I love them with all of my heart. And the closer I get to God, the more I love them. I love them so much that sometimes fear creeps in. And I'm so afraid to send my girl this way or my boy that way, because I'm so afraid of this corrupted world out there. So, but don't be stupid. When I say stupid, I don't want to offend someone. I mean in the sense of we've got wisdom that we can apply in situations. I'm not going to send my son into the ocean when I see a bunch of sharks swimming in and tell him, listen here my boy, God will always protect you. You can go swim with the sharks. That's not being smart. Wisdom will tell me, Isaac, you see the danger ahead? Don't send your boy in there. That's it. It's as simple as that. And that's what Solomon was, the wisest man to ever live, according to the Bible. So Psalm 13 teaches me faith isn't pretending to be strong. Faith is being honest with God and choosing to trust Him anyway. So that was it. That was my first session. Very rough, but I had to prep an hour this morning, so it is what it is. So now we're gonna do some training. I've got a solid 20 minutes with me. Let's go my way. Now I can put my music up for this. Still feeling the shots. Remember what I said? Honor the injuries.
I'm overflowing with love that comes from above. But my chest gets tight when my heart was for love. I'm joyful in Christ, yeah, that part's true. But my flesh pulls hard like it's breaking me in two. How does a man feel peace and pressure the same? Touched by heaven, but still fighting old flames. My spirit is staying, but my body feels weak. It chases affection. When it's purpose I seek, Lord, I feel your grace running deep in my chest. But it's flesh, this flesh wants comfort and rest. I hate how rejection rewires my mind. When your love is enough, eternal divine. If only my flesh can be real in what my spirit feels. This is such a way, but the joy it brings is fine. Finding the balance between Christ and flesh is a mess. So hang on to what you do, because in the end, nothing else matters more than being with Jesus. My body wants things that don't honor you. It craves attention, it wants proof, but the spirit inside keeps calling me higher, pulling me out of the ashes and fire. The world offers comfort that fades in the day, but your love hits deeper in every way. Sometimes my heart feels empty and torn, but you fill the spaces where rejection was born. And when I'm craving a love that feels human and warm, you remind me I'm held through every storm. Your peace is the anchor that holds me in place, your mercy the covering, your presence the grace. Love isn't always loud or strong. Sometimes it's gentle, sometimes it's calm. Sometimes my heart wants more than she can give, but you teach me that love is a place where we live, not a fire that burns every hour, but a covenant held by your holy power. If only my flesh, if only my flesh can be real in what my spirit feels. This is such a way, yet the joy it brings is full. Finding the balance between Christ and flesh is a mess. So hang on to what you do, because in the end, nothing else matters more than being with Jesus. My flesh may fail, but my spirit rises, because your love is stronger than everything I crave.
That's such a difficult freaking stretch. I really can't do it.
I don't need you to fix everything. I don't need the perfect words. Sometimes I just need you to reach for me first. One hug, one touch, one moment where I'm not the one holding everything together. Just hold me first, and I'll carry the rest. I'm the one who starts to talk, always breaking up the ice. I'm the one who keeps on reaching, paying love at any price. Every hug that ever happened, every kiss we ever said, started with my hand on your shoulder, not knowing what I get. You say you're tired and I feel it. Life is stacked
And I sink down deep on my own small island. Yeah, I'm strong, but I'm still human too. And all I ever wanted here was you. All me first, before I disappear inside my head. Before the distance builds a castle in our bed. I don't need 1,000 perfect words rehearsed. I'm learning now to love you through my all me first. All me first. All me first. But if you felt the weight that's sitting on my chest, you know one touch could quiet all the hurt. All me I read your words and felt them burn. Felt like every line said I don't learn. Like I'm walking on eggshells inside my own home. Scared one wrong move leaves you feeling alone. I'm tired of ways I don't even show. Carrying the kids and the way in the flow. By the time I sit down, my mind's not here, but I see your heart and I feel your fear. I wish I knew how to love you right, how to hold you close, but I hold it too tight. I'm not ignoring all the pain you show. I just sometimes feel I'm feeling you alone. You say you're empty when I don't draw near. I feel I'm not enough when I see your tears. You're not too much, I'm not too small. We're just too hard, try not to fall. When you pull back here, I feel it too. Like the whole room lost its view. I don't want you fading in the dark. I just don't know where to start. Hold me first before I disappear inside my head. Hold you for I won't leave silence in our bed. I don't need a perfect version of your love rehearsed. I see your heart, I know it's still. Hold me first. Hold me first. Hold me first. If we could feel the weight in each other's chest. Hold me first. We'd stop believing we're each other's curse. Hold me first. Come close to me. Come break this thirst. Just reach for me and hold me first. Hold me first. Hold me first. We're not enemies. We're just two tired hearts that still want each other. Know that we wanna be right. I don't need perfect. I need your reach before I disappear. Yeah, I knew the way home, but I kept choosing a road that broke me. Thought freedom was doing whatever I felt, but all it did was chain me harder. And somehow, even when I ran the farthest, I still felt his footsteps behind me, not hunting me, rescuing me. Yeah. I was 17, running with a heart full of noise, pretending I was grown in a world built for boys, swapping out my soul for a weekend rush. Every high wore off and the silence crushed. Beer in my veins, pride in my chest, lies in my head saying, boy, you're blessed. But every Sunday guilt kept calling my name, knew the shepherd's voice, but I hid in shame. Playing every part just to fit in the crowd, different mask every night, but inside not proud. Knew the truth since a kid, but I shut that door until the spirit kept whispering, son, there's more. And I felt that pull in my darkest night. Somehow you stayed through all my fights. Every time I ran, you stayed in sight. Grace broke through and lit the night. I ran far, but you still ran faster. Held me through every self-made disaster. When I broke down, you called me son. I was lost, but you get it now. I wasn't running from you. I was running from the man you called me to be. But you waited, you watched, and when I finally turned around, you ran. Now I walk with you, step by step, eyes on eternity. A son again, born again, running.
The breath of God moves within me, not as wind, but as will. The battle I fought alone was never mine to win. And in that moment, I woke from within. Every scar, every late night grind built a body, but couldn't fix the mind. I chased control, I chased perfection, but I found its power in my own rejection. When my lungs gave in, the spirit rose. When my strength broke down, his peace exposed. It wasn't will, it was surrender start. It wasn't muscle, it was heart. Now the fire inside is not my own. It's the voice of heaven in flesh and bone. When I am weak, His power begins. This is the awakening within. I stood in silence, heard His call. Stop building altars to your fall. The force was never there to destroy. It was crafted to refine my joy. He turned my struggle into prayer. My gasp for air became repair. And when the pain tried to pull me down, the spirit whispered, son, stand your ground. Now the fire inside is not my own. It's the voice of heaven in flesh and bone. When I am weak, His power begins. This is the awakening within. I thought I needed more strength. He gave me surrender. I thought I needed victory. He gave me peace. I thought I needed to feel. He taught me to believe. This is not adrenaline. It's a spirit within. Consecrating a will to begin.
That's pause. I didn't know that's pause. Let's do it again. Now the fire inside is not my own. It's the breath of God in flesh and bone. I don't even know. I've got to stop a pause thing on there. Listen, that was not a really long session. I've got 3 minutes left and the video is done. I literally trained for 60 minutes jumping in here like a rabbit. But for what it's worth, I'm getting back into the rhythm I used to be. I'm determined to allow myself to physical training here as well, because this is physical, spiritual and mental training. The things that I go through in my life, I want to share it in here to the best of my ability by applying scripture, the word of God, by applying common sense, strict logic to it. You can say observational science in that sense of the word. Things that have been observed and how we get through it from the spirit. The physical training is just so that I can feel good, be responsible and allow my physical body to support my family. And also I enjoy being fit, because as soon as you get lazy, you get into a certain gear, a certain rut that is really difficult to get out of. For instance, my consistency that I applied last year, twice a week, Mondays and Thursdays, never skipped a single day. This year I've not been able to do it. I wanted to continue with it. I said to myself, well, this year you will continue with it. It's been the 50 leg raises every day. So my core is very strong at the moment. I can feel it. I'm not sure about the six-pack, because I'll be honest with you, Friday we had a movie night. My whole family fell asleep. I ended up watching the Rumble or whatever the movie was called. Both popcorn, sweets. I even had a can of caramel and I ate, like, I really let go this weekend. And I said to myself, it's okay. I'm not gonna punish myself, because I went last year for a full year with no chocolates. So training twice a week, I did it, no rest. And then I also had no chocolate for a full year, 0 chocolates. I had dark chocolate, 70% cocoa and up, once a month or so. I bought myself a Lynn slab. But other than that, I didn't have any sweets. A little bit of sweets here and there. I would crave some sweets because I have a sweet tooth. I love eating chocolate, but this year I've still avoided chocolates. So, that's why I was snacking a bit on the sweets again. But anyway, this is Isaac Smith. This is my journey until I'm 50. This is me recording myself in what I believe God's called me to do. That's my new study desk with my training mats in here. I still want to get like rubber mats in here because I still want to train with my boy and just teach him a little bit of self-defense. Here's my logo. This is called my Journey Till I'm 50 logo. Journey until I'm 50. I don't know. I think it's showing upside down. For what it's worth, doesn't matter. Because of my phone being this way around. But I'm going to get myself a different device at some point and just see where I can camera angle in. Things will change in here. But for now, this is the raw beginnings. This is Isaac Smith. This is my journey till I'm 50. You're welcome to join me and do your own discipline training in here. But spend time with yourself, for yourself. Get to know who you are inside here. The man inside, eh? Okay, so that's me. Peace.